Hey everyone, this is Bailey from the EMH, and I'm back with another Elephant Money video. And folks, I've been making a lot of videos recently on Elephant Money futures, which is the most lucrative, successful, and sustainable high yield passive income play in all of crypto right now. And so I've made a lot of videos lately kind of highlighting exactly the ins and outs of the system, how the protocol is rock solid, and then also some of the sustainability features of futures. All right. And specifically, the two that I highlight in my last video was the impact of that fresh capital that needs to be deposited in order for your available to compound, so to compound your interest, your rewards. And then also, secondly, the fact that when you do withdraw from your account, your balance actually decreases. All right. So it's not some of these weird like ROI dApps where you hyper compound and then just drain the capital from the system. All right. It's designed more as what's called a cash flow engine or high yield savings account, where you can really generate and multiply your cash to create a nice balanced like cash flow. All right. So today, guys, for good reason, I want to go in depth one more time to do a specific example on one of our last sustainability features that I haven't quite highlighted yet. And that's our rate limiter. All right. Because we might need this. The whales have found us, guys. Oh, boy. All right. So Elephant Money futures, all right. We just had our largest day ever for deposits. Over $1 million today alone has been deposited into Elephant Money futures, all right. So the word is getting out. People are actually starting to see this system and they're like, woohoo, you know, like I need to get in. All right. Our previous all-time high day for deposits, it was the mid 400,000 range. So it's more than doubled it in just one day. And you know, things are looking pretty bullish right now. All right. But people always get nervous because they're like, oh man, all right. So now there's some big whales in here. Are they going to have like a negative impact on the system, like long term and all that? All right. And the beauty about the Elephant Money ecosystem is no matter what size participant you are, you know, all of our collective efforts kind of go into just this economic engine, which is Bertha, the elephant treasury. And it's really a financial collaborative and cooperative where we're able to harness the power of that diamond-handed smart contract, all right, the elephant treasury, Bertha, to create tremendous appreciating value using the mathematical formulas in the liquidity pools, the constant product formula, all right? And then Bertha is able to manage daily liabilities, all right, based upon, you know, the assets in the treasury, all right? So it's a very unique, really awesome setup. And one of the things I wanted to highlight was this rate limiter, all right? Because when you have like a large whale, right? And say they start to accumulate a lot of value, right? And you still have to pay $200, deposit $200 to compound, you know, but I've noticed, you know, some people were like, oh, you know, that's not going to be sustainable, right? So the combination of that fresh capital, and then also when you are withdrawing, your balance deducts, all right? And then also, guys, the rate limiters, which many of us won't see, but if your compounds start to become much larger than your deposits, all right, that's when that kicks in. So I just want to show you guys an example of how that plays out, all right, in one of a strategy that you could use as a whale, all right? So a large depositor in Elephant Money futures. Okay, so see, it says right here, so adaptive rate limiting once over 50K compound yield versus deposits, anywhere from a 10% to a 50% in your rate, the deduction, okay? And it's a multiplicative rate deduction, all right? So let's check it out, guys. All right, so Elephant Money futures, okay? So here is our Dune dashboard, right? And I just wanted to show you guys, all right, this crazy stuff that's going on right now. So deposits, all right? So all time, guys, if I sort it, Yes. All right. So the largest deposits. All right. So we have over $1 million just today alone deposited into Elephant Money futures. All right. And that beats the second place day by quite a bit. All right. So more than doubled it up. Okay. All right. So guys, now that we have a lot of capital in here, we got some whales splashing around. What I want to do is just show you one of the wallets that has compounded the most, and then just kind of take a similar value there and kind of plug it into the Elephant Money calculator to see how much damage will be done here. All right, or are our whales like great for the ecosystem? They are, guys. All right, everybody prospers here in Elephant Money. Okay. All right, so guys, check it out. So we got our top wallets here, and if I sort by compounding, all right, there's been one wallet that has $262,000 in deposits and has accrued an additional $293,000 in compounds, right? And it looks like one withdrawal, so it might have been like just testing the system or something. So right now their balance is sitting at, or their personal TVL is sitting at close to $556,000. Okay. And they still have that rate of 0.5% daily. Okay. So I'm going to show you how the rate limiter eventually will come into play. All right. And then if we look over here, guys, we can see that so they have 77 deposits and 76 compounds. All right. So they did their initial deposit and then they've done 76 follow-up deposits of $200 or greater. All right. There's no maximum that you can put in up to $1 million. Right. But no one's depositing $1 million. But yeah. And then the one withdrawal, guys, and their first deposit was 252 days ago. And their last compound was 2 days ago. All right, so they're letting that build up again, probably for another compound pretty soon. Okay, so some of the things, guys, with futures is that you can bring your total balance up to 1 million. All right, so I'm going to play out a strategy similar to this guy. So I'm going to put in a huge chunk of change and we'll compound it up to $1 million. And then we'll kind of do a strategy where we'll keep a level balance and kind of do that Elephant Money pension plan where we will alternate compounds and withdrawals, right, to keep our balance relatively around $1 million, and then just keep withdrawing and getting a paycheck every couple of weeks. All right, so let's see how that plays out and just how much money before the account gets maxed out at 2.5 million we're able to make. All right, with this like a strategy like this. Okay. All right, so guys, Elephant Money futures. All right, so I'll just show you guys where, if you need some of these tools to go. All right, so on the main page, guys, under dashboard, all right, that's where you just open up and you'll get all the Dune dashboards for Elephant Money. There's tons of them. That's where I opened up to get the futures one. All right, and then there's documentation. All right, documentation is where you want to go. This white paper is outdated. All right, the documentation, the wiki. All right, that's what you want to go to. And so say if you wanted to find some of these calculators, okay, or just read more about all the things in futures. So you just go to services here, all right, Elephant Money futures, vaults. All right, and then here's all the key components. There's the rate limiters that I'm going to show you guys today. All right, so yeah, so we're going to go and we're going to start seeing where our 0.5% per day gets reduced, okay, and reduced again and reduced again. And then when you get all the way down to that 50% rate reduction, all right, so that's 50% of the 0.5%. So that's where we get a 0.25%. All right, so there's that, guys. And then the strategy section, if you want to experiment with these calculators on your own, strategies, and then you can have the web-based calculator, which a community member, Dale, put together, and then the spreadsheet, Google Sheet that Crypto Stu put together. All right, and I'm going to be using the spreadsheet today. Okay, so here we go, guys. Let's whale it up here in elephant money futures. All right, so let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. All right, get rid of that. Okay, here we go, guys. All right, so we're in the calculator here. And so what I did was I was like, all right, let's put like a big old fat stack whale number in there, 250 grand. Wham. Okay. So guys, we're going to look at a strategy where we're going to plop in. All right. Whales are going to be circling $250,000. Okay. Boom. It goes in. Okay. Now that immediately, all right, part of it goes into the buffer pool, and the vast majority, 90% of it, okay, goes into the BUSD treasury, and Bertha is now chomping away at the elephant token. All right. Totally pumping everyone's bags. All right. And fueling the treasury. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to be depositing, right, on a weekly basis. Okay, 200 bucks. All right, so let's just build this account. So every week we're going to throw in $200, and it's going to compound that huge interest, right, that we're making. Okay, and so I'm going to get it like pretty close up to $1 million. All right, I stopped at where I had a balance goal of about 970,000. All right, I didn't want to say the balance goal was 1 million, because sometimes what it will do is if it's just shy of 1 million, it will end up compounding like more than the $1 million, and then you'll lose those rewards. So I kept it where it's like it was going to be short of $1 million, so close, because then my next strategy is going to be an alternating where it's 1 week compound, 1 week claim. All right, and I'm going to keep that going. I put that in here too as well. So the spreadsheet knew I was going to stay with the same thing throughout the rest of the way, all the way down to max wallet. Okay, so or the max claim, which is 2.5 million. Okay. All right, so guys, here's how this is going to play out. Okay, so you can kind of see just in my chart, my graphic. All right, so we have a system where we're putting in a lot, and we're going to be growing quite a bit with compounding, not touching it at all. And then we're going to do kind of that yin and yang pension plan style where we do kind of like a 50-50, where we're going to take 1 week, compound 1 week, take 1 week, compound 1 week. Okay. One thing to know, guys, with a max account here, $1 million, is that you're going to be getting 0.5%. It's 5,000 a day. All right. So you can't let it go more than 10 days. All right. Because then it's going to hit the 50K mark, and it's not going to accrue anymore. It's a 50K like daily limit, or 50K available limit. So you want to have a schedule that's alternating 10 days or less. All right. And the calculator it didn't have like a 10-day alternating choice. So we did like a 7-day alternating choice. So 1 week claim, 1 week compound. All right. Let's see what happens here, guys. All right. So here's the scoop, guys. Ready? So we're going to go in day one, balance, 250,000. Boom. All right. Our rate, 0.5% per day. Okay. My last video, I talked about how that is absolutely degen ridiculous rate gain, and this cannot be sustainable, and it's absolutely super scary, and I'm not touching it, right? And so what I'm trying to show is, like, yes, it's 0.5% per day on your balance, but there's all these different measures in there where at the very end, right, it's not going to be like that same 0.5% rate. Okay. Because just remember, guys, so it takes fresh capital to compound this. All right. So that kind of slows down how fast you can compound. And then if we start to compound or get too much compounded value, we're going to start to see the rate limiters kick in. And then remember, whenever we take out, the balance reduces. Okay. So we're going to see the combination of all those things is what makes futures possible. All right. flux capacitor style. Let's go. Okay, so guys, we're going to be compounding every week until we hit $1 million. All right, so the 200 goes in. All right, 8,750 bucks. All right, gets compounded. Okay, and I'm now at, for after 1 week, $258,950. Okay, and so it's going to keep going where I'm just going to compound, and you can kind of see where it's like, oh wow, like this is crazy. Like, you know, like you only have to put in $200, and I just added $10,000, you know, to my balance. You know, like whales are going to drain the system, right? That's crazy, right? But guys, you know, what comes up must come down, right? So like once whales, or once anybody takes money out, right, you know, you're going to be reducing your balance quite a bit. But let's see what happens with this right here. All right, because this is getting a little crazy. All right, so guys, we're going to be compounding. All right, let me just open this up a little more if I can. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, because I want to show you guys one other thing, and that is the rate limiters. Man. Yeah, okay, so the rate limiter is over here, guys. So nothing has kicked in yet, okay? So we're still compounding, and we're building up our balance, so 400,000. All right, we're getting close to 500,000, okay? And the largest participant right now is at that like 555, so around this ballpark right here. All right, and now what you're going to end up seeing, guys, is if you look, my total deposits, all right, that 250 grand plus all those 200s, and then my total compounded, it's starting to get to a point where it's going to be more than 50K away from each other, right? And you're going to notice, guys, that it clicks in right here, day 169, all right, after my next compound there. All right, so I'm going to go down from 0.5% to 0.45%. All right, and that is a 10% reduction. It's multiplicative. All right, so 10% of that 0.5%. All right, and then it gets, you know, taken off. Okay, so rate limiter, it says over here, guys, 10%. My mouse is dying. Oh no. All right, 10% right here. And because notice, guys, how now my compound versus deposit spread is more than 50K. All right, so that's where that kicks in, this rate limiters. Okay, now we haven't seen anyone really progress to this point yet in Elephant Money futures. All right, because most people have been already doing like a claim compound schedule. All right, and if you launch into an earlier claim compound schedule, you're never going to really hit that rate reduction amount, you know, very easily. And then also, guys, you know, we haven't seen it where even the most hardcore of compounders hasn't gotten quite to this like level of spread yet, but we'll probably start seeing them pretty soon. Okay, so rate limiter, all right, still compounding. Okay, so I'm not gaining as much. I slowed down a little bit, but I'm still compounding like a madman. All right, so this last compound, 21K, right? Okay, so guys, I'm going up, and right here, 232 days, I've triggered my second rate reduction. Okay, my second rate reduction. So I'm now at 0.425% per day. All right, so it went up from a 10% limiter to a 15% limiter. And the reason was that now my spread is more than 250K. Okay, so once you get to that 250K mark or above, more compounds than fresh capital deposits, all right, then that next 15% limiter, all right, comes in. So it's 15% of the 0.5% per day. Remember, it's multiplicative, it's not like subtraction, okay? All right, we're compounding though, because we're going to the million mark. All right, we want the absolute top or very, very close to the top. And it looks like, guys, right here. All right. So I stopped. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Okay, I stopped our initial strategy, which was compounding up to, I think it was $970,000. Okay. So that was boom, like our first part in the dashboard. All right, mission accomplished. Okay, weekly deposit all the way up to 970 grand. Okay, and then the reason I didn't put a million was because I wanted to then do a compound / claim strategy. So that's going to, this first compound here, that's going to be like the first action in that second strategy. And it's going to compound and bring me up to just under 1 million. Okay. So I'm going to compound in, I put my 200 in, my balance increases by close to 29 grand. Right. And now I am like a shade under 1 million. That's the top personal TVL that you can have. All right. So you can't go past that. So now we're going to start a claim schedule where we're going to be claiming every week. And then we'll just throw 200 bucks back in the next week. All right. To keep us kind of topped up at that mark, very, very close to 1 million. And we're just going to keep doing this until it hits that max payout, and we'll see kind of how we make out. All right, so let's check it out, guys. So what will happen is, all right, a week later, okay, I'm going to let this accrue close to $30,000, and okay, that's going to be my first claim with this strategy. All right, and all right, so I got my close to 30K. Now notice, guys, that my balance goes back down, all right, to that 970 mark. Okay, and then we'll let it build back up. And then we'll throw in the 200 again. So 200, and it will compound, and it will bring me right back close to that 1 million mark again. All right. Now notice here, guys, I just triggered another rate limiter. Okay. What the heck? Why did that happen? Right. So see here, guys, now it's a 25% rate limit reduction multiplicatively. So that's 0.5%. And we take 25% off of that. So it's 0.375% per day now. Okay. Because, guys, I am now at more than $500,000 for my compound versus deposits spread. Okay. So reduction. Okay. So just slowing down the rate at which you take out again. All right. And then, so we're going to be doing this whole claiming and then compounding, claiming, and then compounding. And this is kind of the flow that's really great for futures, right? Because you're able to kind of keep like a balance that's like relatively steady and just be able to take like a consistent flow of cash out of the contract. All right, so out of your balance. Okay, so we keep going, keep doing this. All right, because what's going to happen, guys, is it's going to shut us off when we have gotten to our $2.5 million. All right, so our total compounded and claimed, all right, once that hits 2.5 million. So those compounds count towards that $2.5 million mark. All right, so we're going to keep on going. So we're just alternating, taking out cash. All right, our balance is staying relatively close to that $1 million mark. And boom, I just hit another rate limiter, guys. Okay, so right at day 449, I'm now at 0.3250%. All right, so I'm now at a 35% reduction rate limiter. All right, and that's because now I am at $750,000 more compounded than claimed. All right, so, or sorry, more compounded than total deposits rather. All right, so yeah, here we go. Keep going. Let's do it. All right, so we're claiming, we're compounding, we're going nuts. All right, I mean, look at this, like, so, and it's kind of sick, like every 2 weeks, you're just 20 something grand, it's not bad. Not bad at all. All right, and this is like passive cash flow. Sweet times, right? Let's see. We're still doing it, man. We're still crushing it. Okay, so claiming, compounding. All right, right here, guys, day 600 or so, I have hit the max rate limiter. So 50%, all right, 50% there. And that's because I now have $1 million spread of our total compound versus our total fresh deposits. All right, so once the difference hits 1 million, that's where the last and final rate reduction comes in, where it's 0.25% per day. All right, so that's this one right here. All right, notice how the rate has gone down yet again. All right, so it's kind of slowing us down just a little bit more. So slowing down the rate at which, there can be outflows to the system, right? Because the system, what it does is it's all about managing kind of the daily liabilities of the ecosystem, because all the economic activity that's happening is like powering and pumping the token, and then the token's going to be selling a little bit, and then people are going to be coming back in. And, it's like a very lucrative business, because who's not going to want, ridiculously cool and generous yield, all right, on a very successful protocol, right? Over 2.5 years already in the game, has survived pretty much everything. And, it's going to start to become a name that people recognize. And it's going to be one of the leaders in DeFi. And we are still claiming and compounding and claiming and compounding, guys. All right. And, okay. So day 889, we were able to make our last claim of 17,300, and has shut us off max payout. Okay, and max payout means that we've hit that mark of right here and here. So our claimed and compounded was $2.5 million. All right. Okay, so how did we do overall? All right, well, so at the very end, we had $266,800 deposited into the system. All right, and we were able to pull out and claim $903,571, all right, from the protocol. All right, not bad. And that was over 889 days. All right, so let's check out what that comes out to be. All right, so we go over to our handy dandy Desmos calculator here. All right, maybe I can get a sponsorship from Desmos, right? Who knows? All right, so guys, right, so this is how much money we were able to claim or to withdraw, and this was our deposits. So we had a net profit here of $636,771 over time. All right. So if I take my profit and divide by my original or my total deposits here times 100, so I had a profit of, I made about 239% on the capital, on my money, all right? And that was over that 889 days, which is about like 2.5 years. All right, so what I did was I took that percentage that I made, divided it by the number of days. So I could get kind of like the yield per day or the percent per day that I actually realized from using this particular strategy. And it was about close to 0.27% per day. Okay. So the whole idea where it's like 0.5% like per day, that, it sounds crazy, but when you take into account the balance reducing whenever you are withdrawing, all right, and then when you have a particular account that gets to like whale status, where you're able to compound a lot for the 200, you start to get a disparity where your deposits are kind of dwarfed by the compounding. So it slows it all down and reduces your rate, to keep it kind of sustainable and viable, and stretches out the return a little bit. All right. And you're going to get just 0.27% with that strategy, average per day. So if we just figure out what was it for 365 days, so it kind of be like our yearly like APY that we were making on our money, it's about 98% APY, all right, which is solid return. But it is not like breaking or busting the system at all. All right, because if you know anything about the elephant token and the price appreciation of the token, and you look at the trend in the data, and if you have seen any of my videos on the tokenomics of how this generates value, 98% APY is quite manageable for the system. All right, so it's just another way where this is kind of like it all came together. All right, BTS cracked the code, cash flow for all. All right, so if that $200 is something where you can only do it once every 2 months, all right, versus someone that's throwing it in like every week or every 3 days, you're never late to futures. All right, it is cash flow on stable value, stable coin yield, and it's all good, man. So the system is just absolutely amazing, and it's catching on, guys. Word of mouth is spreading. Each one teach one is what we call it. And everybody that I know that is in Elephant Money, right, is just like living it up, man. Like we are winning here in Elephant Money. We want everybody else to know about it and to experience some prosperity, because this is, again, it's a financial cooperative, it's a collaborative, and our combined economic strength will be able to power Bertha, our benevolent smart contract, and really kind of revolutionize how value is generated and then can be distributed amongst the participants of an ecosystem, right? So DeFi, all right, community bank in full effect, guys. Elephant Money Futures, one of the hottest things in crypto. All right, check it out, guys. Join us in Telegram, all right, to get all like the alpha, meet the community, say hello, and then start doing some research, guys. We have all the wiki available, which is in the documentation, all the Dune dashboards. All right, check it out for yourself. Throw $200 in, see how it works. All right, and then you can start to learn and play around with some of these strategies and ask like community members what they're doing. All right, thanks everyone, and till the next time, this is Bailey from the EMH. I'm out.